those.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta tell me that. He's like, I didn't know. He's like, but you want him to hear what you're saying like that? Listen to us? And I'm like, nah, man, he's just take, like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I'm not posting all the fucking like conversations out
But
there.
I'm very careful with that. Like when I
Quiet
ride
on
with
the
them in the
set.
car and stuff, like
Quiet
I
on
don't
the
be
set,
pulling
guys.
out my phone.
Let me get up.
Hold on, did you hit record over here? Oh, no, you're not the guy. I'll do it. Ready. You're tuned into NWCLV.FM. I am DJ Kane Cobra. I move slick, strike quick, hit you once, and it's over. And DJ, that's digital journalist, because I don't jock nothing. You heard me? We back at it again for Super Bowl weekend. It's the Sin City Committee. We have YaYa and we have Chad, man. I said it right, yeah, YaYa and Chad. Okay, that's what we got. And also we got Sin City Committee's own Phonix Orion.
That's what's up.
Phonix, holla at him.
Yo, we in the building, man. Big weekend. Super duper big historical weekend here in Las Vegas. And man, yo, there's some people out here in the city who I think y'all should meet. And they sitting here with me right now. We was talking about that the Boston connection. Man, my guy right here, Chad. Chad, what's up, brother?
Oh man, thank
How
you
you
for
doing? How
having
you
me.
doing? How you
Thank you
doing?
for
How you
having
doing?
me.
And
I
sitting next to
appreciate
him is my brother. Yo, that's my guy YaYa right there, man. What's up, Ya?
it.
Man, he out here. He came out here by himself, independent. We're gonna get talking about my dude right here because he got a lot of stuff going on. I like the way he get down. I like the way he move. Chad. So these are your products here, huh? These are like your spots. So he's our sponsor, man. Like so earlier, y'all heard us talking about the triple changer, you know, the triple chamber here, Mary Jane. Oh man, he brought a couple more little goodies and stuff like that. And the Cannabis Radio Network. He's also one of the founders of that. We're gonna get into it in this right here. We was talking about earlier the dark growers. That's my guy right here. He's one of the dark growers. I said, well, he's the founder, CEO right there too. Your boy YaYa. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into their products and everything today. We are lit in Vegas. Chad. Wait a minute. Wasn't we partying last night? What did we do last night?
Pretty wild, huh? It was pretty wild.
Man, I want to thank you, you know what I mean, for a lot of no disrespect, outside promoters come to Vegas and they think they can just do a successful show because they got money or they got a little, you know, you got a couple of acts, and that doesn't make a successful show here in Vegas. They really don't. A lot of times it's like, you know, who you know, as opposed to what you know and what you have.
Well, who knows you?
Yeah, who knows you. So thank you, man, for coming out here and giving a great show. I think that's going to be a real pinnacle show for the Wu's decision to like want to do more stuff here. And stuff. Yeah. Because of that, because of your event.
Right.
You know, not the residency that they already paid for.
Yeah.
Your event, bro. So let's definitely talk about doing some more stuff. So right now, y'all in town, you promoting your products?
Yeah, man. I mean, we really came out like we're just willing to collaborate and network. I came out to Vegas with actually with Ghost over the summer, and we just kind of kicked it. And you know, I ended up getting some connections with some other entities because you know it all started with cannabis. But we were talking to NFL alumni with some promotional stuff, and I think I've been learning a lot about like you know how Vegas moves. And I'm not like that guy who just wants to. I want to hear that. You know what I mean? And I know the importance of connecting with the community. What we do. And you know, shout out to my boy from Infused Productions, Mike, my team, and my boy Jake Ganem. Like he you know was the founder of Cannabis Radio Network and Average Joe Grow.
These all the guys back in the East Coast?
Back in the East Coast, my team that came out with me. And really what we do is like Cannabis Radio Network, we have all these series of shows underneath and it just evolved. Like we were just growers, we started a show, but then like I got love of hip hop, I got love of music. We started Table Talk because of some of the events. Then we got the Green Nurses for educational. And really there was really no one direction. Like we just know we had to work with the community. And when I came out of Vegas, like I just saw like some stuff for the entertainment.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, we need to, like you said, man, the experience. So like we talked to Wu-Tang, they ended up getting this residency out there, and we know that it's important for them to capitalize on that because, you know, the hip hop culture, like it just has to be heard and seen and felt, and it's going to be worked through the community. So doing the meet and greets and making them involved more in the community. We just came out, we're just so appreciative that we able to, you know, link up with guys like you and talk and just make it happen. Like I think sometimes these things just don't have a one direction. It's kind of like, listen, I got my connection, my experience, and we know what we have the vision. We don't know the journey of it.
But
you know what I mean?
It's weird because each one of these things have a symbiotic relationship towards each other. Meaning, like, you know, we smoke weed and cannabis. What artists don't really smoke weed or indulge in some cannabis?
That's what it's about,
when
too.
you get inspired to go into the studio to make your music. So, as far as hip hop community, we've always been in the cannabis community, in a part of the cannabis community. I don't think people talk about that or just like make that an issue, but like we've always supported cannabis. Everybody in the industry, you know, not to start talking about the dreads and the reggae. And
but
it's always been a part of their culture too. No, I just don't want to like.
I'm glad you said it because I feel like that's kind of the roots of it. Like really, like man. You know, I did a lot of stuff with cannabis back in the day, and I was considered like I had to hide from it. Like I was considered like you know what I mean, not good person for doing it. And now it's like we see these corporate entities and stuff like that never went through the, for lack of better words, trauma that we went through on it, right? And then they capitalized on it. Like what about the dudes like the hip hop that were like literally living it and going through. Not able to say it and just like going against the grain and doing this taboo. And now it's like we want to bring a little bit of that back and say where it all derived from. Yeah. And you know what I mean? That's really what we're doing.
Hip hop and cannabis go hand in hand.
That's really what we're doing.
Let me have my guy YaYa. Yo, YaYa, what up, bro?
What's good?
What's goody?
Talk to me.
I see your eyes low, like you know. Look, ain't no secret, no mystery, man. I just, yo, a little pre-roll he had of some of that right now in the parking lot got us right. I'm right now. I'm right.
That's
you
right.
grow? Are you the grower, or this your company, right? Dark Growers. So what's Dark Growers about?
So Dark Growers was something that I chose to start in 2018. You know, I was an East Coast kid coming up. Okay. Kind of like
what part of the East Coast?
I grew up in the Bronx, in between the Bronx and New Jersey too.
Shout out.
Yeah, I got my father's side in the Bronx, my mom's side in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
New Brunswick, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm doing some Patterson.
All right, so yeah, I ran around Patterson for a little bit too. Shout out to Patterson, shout
out
to
Patterson, right there.
You know, shout out to the X, you already know.
Yep.
But yeah, I chose to start Dark Growers in 2018 just from being a kid coming up on the East Coast. And just like Chad said, you know, I was kind of like outlawed as, you know, doing something wrong over a plant. You know, I always knew that the plant was not the problem. Yeah. But there was no legislation to support that.
Yeah, at the time, right?
I saw it coming down the pipeline. I ended up going to Clio, Michigan, to a High Times event in 2016.
Changed everything.
And it changed everything for me. You know, I was out there, you know, participating in distribution. And I saw that legalization was going to be a nationwide thing one day, and I said, let me go to where this thing started at, California, and to the West Coast, and find out, you know, how to grow, and you know, ended up, you know, learning that it was about the genetics. It's not about growing. Anybody can grow anything, right? We, by nature.
But it's those nutrients that you put in the plant and.
Right, by nature, all humans are agriculturists or agriculturalists, however you want to say it. You know, anybody can grow, but I figured out that it was about genetics. So kind of like, you know, if you're in your local area, you know, people usually look the same. They look all familiar in a local area, but you could tell when something foreign comes around, something exotic comes around, right? It's different. So I wanted to have that effect on people when it came to cannabis. I wanted to come with exotic, you know, I had no problem sourcing goods to make money from before this industry. So when I got in this industry, I said I'm gonna go to where, you know, the good and the best genetics are. And you know, Dark Growers is something that, you know, for anything to grow, it has to go through darkness.
I hope y'all catching these jewels, man, these gems. You know, and he's speaking real slow. He ain't talking fast, but he's dropping a lot of gems on you that I hope that y'all catching, that I need to make points about, because your tools, like, you are as good as your tools. I mean, you're saying like anybody can grow it. You can have the lights, you can have all of that stuff, but do you know the science of it?
Right. We push genetics so far, like if the
y'all
genetics
making me proud, bro.
This
is the East Coast movement, like right now.
That's a
fact.
fact.
It's weird. Like, we didn't set it up like that.
And look, we'll travel for it too.
And that's what's
we'll travel for it. You know, we'll go anywhere for it. You know, you see they travel here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
I was very shocked, but I'm not really shocked because we've always been hustlers and go-getters. You know, not saying anything about the West, because bro, the West got a whole different type of hustle to them that I've never even seen before. So when I came here with a little bit of my East Coast hustle
the grind,
mentality.
hustle and grind mentality.
That hustle grind mentality. You bring that to the West Coast.
East Coast, West Coast changed me. Yeah,
And like we were saying yesterday, how I feel like, as the East Coast, when we go for it, we gravitate to each other because, like, in from living out on the West Coast for, like, years ago when I lived, spent some time out in Cali and stuff, especially in Vegas, a lot of people, there are locals, right, but a lot of people aren't from here.
No, they're not.
So, like, when we get that group, like, we know, like, where we're from.
Yeah.
And we can see that on each other, so we're like, yo, I know this guy's down to work, and he's he respects.
You gotta be hustling. You gotta be doing it while you here. Where I'm from, you gotta be doing the same thing.
And the
it's
people,
at least worth a conversation.
Right, and the people out in Vegas and all that, they respect that, and they find it very interesting and intriguing.
Yeah.
That you know what I mean. All these East Coast cats, and sometimes that it pawns off onto other people. Like it kind of. Oh man, I love it, and at the end of the day, like all these connections that I've had and everything I've had came from this.
You know what I'm seeing
really
too? That's really dope.
That.
Also, want to make a point that's powerful. It's crossing racial boundaries. Just like the music and hip hop bring us together, and conjugate together, cannabis is bringing us together.
100%.
Y'all familiar with the old film Reefer Madness, right? Right.
Yeah.
So it's like systematically, the system, the powers that be, have been trying to it's all control. At the end of the day, it's always all controlled substance. They can't control it, and right now they've lost control. This is like the power of the plant is out there. The secrets of the plant is out there. It has many other healing properties besides this, the CBD side of it, which a lot of people don't talk about. Everybody want to get high but I'm like, bro, but is this your weed? Is this strand really actually for you?
Definitely a common denominator that brings everybody together.
I noticed that a lot of people who consume, they just want to just dump a bunch, like a whole eighth inside of a backwood, and just go to the dome and just get just almost nodded out. But there's a lot of healing properties in this weed, man. Like it's everywhere now, though.
But I think what does that is intent. Like I think at any point in time, like when you go home after a long day, some people will take a Xanax prescribed by the doctor. Some person take this to relax. So at what point is it recreational medical? Like to me, sometimes recreational is medical. Like for me to go home and just chill and get my mind right, like that might be considered recreational. But it's medical too. So it's like I think the thing that changes it is the intent.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is your intent on using it?
Yeah.
And then that can be directed to, yes, exactly. There's so many healing properties that we're still finding out about.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, man, it's like, why are they holding them back? Like, I've done these cannabis events.
Control. I just told you why.
We've never had an issue.
I mean, it's the same thing, though. They did this with the lottery industry.
Right.
Yeah.
We understand.
Housing. We used to
redlining us with housing.
Before the lottery industry, people were running numbers.
Right.
Until they figured out
That's what
how to
Malcolm
tax
X did. He was a numbers runner.
Once they figured out how to tax lottery, once they figured out how to tax alcohol, beer,
100%.
it became legal. So same thing with cannabis. I just want to point out how, I think that they've always known that cannabis and other herbs, right? Because cannabis is a herb.
Yes, an herb.
All forms of herbs have brought the peoples together. So, we could unify as a people. We could put differences aside. I've never seen a person rowdy and calm at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So cannabis kind of tones everything down. It kind of mellows things out. And I think for that sake, this is why they've also kind of kept it from being recreationally legal all over the nation, because they don't want people unifying. They don't want people agreeing with one another. Yeah.
And when I say that, why, that question is almost like a rhetorical question. Like, I really know why I'm saying, but like, why? What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and man, like, I see it as a lot like the craft beer industry too, right? Like, the craft beer industry didn't come out till way later after beer was out for a while. Like, when we, like 5, 10 years, whatever, when they first put it as recreational, anything was good. Like it's from the dispensary, it's good. But now people are starting to become more privy from shows like this and educational things we do. They're starting to become more privy. Well, they'll know, like, this is why I'll stand in line for a 4-pack of beer for $25 instead of, like, just going and buying this Bud Light and Budweiser. Right now, it's like any weed that comes legally, some people that aren't part of the culture, they look at that like, oh, it's great weed. Like, people are really becoming privy to what's up, and we're more people like yourself that are really going to be, like, paying attention to that, the genetics and all that, like that. That's going to come about even more so. People are going to really, like...
Back to also answering your question again was something that YaYa said about all of us now becoming like a whole new group of agriculturalists out there. That's another thing.
That's
It's like
huge.
They don't want that.
you know why they don't want this? They don't want that because they don't want us to go back to being able to grow our own
Self-sustainable.
foods.
Bro,
This
that's
is
a big
bigger.
one.
It's
That's a big
bigger
one. That's
than
a whole nother
marijuana,
topic.
y'all.
Listen, bro.
That's a whole
listen,
nother
bro.
This is bigger than the
Bro,
marijuana.
listen,
They don't
let
want.
me tell you how big this is. When a state goes legal, they lose out on 11 billion in pharmaceutical income that they bring in
That's real
from
talk.
pharmacies and
Real
giving
talk.
out these
Yep.
prescriptions to people.
Yep.
Every state that goes
state.
legal recreationally, not medically, but recreationally, they lose 11 billion.
What about prisons? Like,
So
there's
they're
stats-
putting,
stats they lose
so
on
if you
prisons.
notice, once the state goes recreationally legal, they write all new laws.
Yep.
DUI laws, so don't think just because your state going legal with cannabis, you can't get busted. You can get busted.
Yeah.
If you smoking in a car,
Yeah.
yo, I've never caught a DUI in my life and don't plan to. I do not smoke in the car. I don't need no weed smells in my car. Why? Because this is a whole new ticket. It's a whole new law you're breaking now, and this is the money that compensates that loss,
That loss.
of that pharmaceutical money
That part.
industry. So if you learn how to grow, right? If you learn how to grow, then you can grow herbs. You can medicate yourself. We call weed. Y'all might call it weed. I call it plant-based medicine. This is plant-based medicine. When you grow it yourself, and not only that, when you grow it yourself, you save more money as well,
See?
and you know exactly what's in it. So dark
See?
growers was about going underground, right? Learning something new, learning a new skill. I've made money off of educating people on how to grow. I have a grow program. I have an NFT company where when people purchase my NFTs, they get seeds in the mail every single month. I teach them how to grow. I give them new genetics. And what happens is once you have seeds and you pop those seeds and you grow those plants up, those are your plants. That's your strain. If you get that lab tested, and I do advocate for people to test their weed, because what if you grow some stuff and you test it and there's salmonella in it?
Yeah.
There's aspergillus in it. There's powdery mildew in it.
I seen the powdery
So
mildew look like
and
that.
look, and in a lot of areas, bad weed from areas that have weed plentifully,
Yes.
right? They send that weed to other states that aren't as hip to what powdery mildew
They
looks
sell
like.
that.
Yeah, and now you're smoking on this stuff, and you might not care about it. A lot of people might not care about it, but your lungs do.
Big issue.
Yeah.
This is how Exhibit lost his company. It was bare knuckles. He had bare knuckles, and it was the vape, but it was a bad batch of weed that they put in the vape. I know because I am actually one who had it. Me and the girl who I was dating at the time, we both was hit, and just my throat was just extra. I was just like, nah, something is wrong. And sure enough, he was just really the face brand ambassador of the brand. But yeah,
Well,
so
you
we
don't
got
know about.
sued.
I don't know how.
They're
Like,
church now, so Brass Knuckles turned into the church. So if you see the church brand, that was them. They just switched up their name because they got sued and all that money and lawsuits and all that kind of stuff. So what you're saying is very, very, very important.
and then the other piece is like I don't know. I know state to state it's different, but like in Massachusetts, the remediation process, and I don't know if you guys understand that process at all, but the remediation process is wild because they actually radiate. They got two different processes, but one of them is done with radiation, right? So it's gonna zap and kill all this powdery mildew and all this stuff. But like, you know, the radiation's a lot of times gonna kill anything living. So like anything that's really like good in it could kill
The
other
plan is living.
But here's the ticket about it. There's like one company that's really doing this remediation right now. They'll come to you, and if it fails for microbial bacteria, they can't put it in the stores.
Yeah.
So microbial bacteria is on our hands.
Ain't that everywhere?
It's on everything.
Right?
So they're setting it up to fail because what'll happen is then they'll come. You can buy this machine for $300,000, $350,000 to do it yourself, but it will do like 2 pounds a day. Or they have like this $5 million machine that they'll do it for you.
Yeah.
In Massachusetts, they'll charge you to do it. They also take half the harvest.
Wow.
So
It's
now
always a racket. It's
they take
always
half
a
that
racket.
harvest, like they're putting. Now they got that. Whether they're putting it back in there, they're putting it on the street,
Yeah.
whatever they're doing. But now they got that cannabis weed
Yeah.
for nothing, right? And they're driving down the market and they're doing different stuff. But when that product is on the shelves, it doesn't say remediated on it. So like somebody that's not too privy to cannabis and stuff
Yeah.
could go in there and this is only this much, looks just as good, whatever. But they don't know what's been done to
That's
it.
the $60 ounce.
That's those.
There you go. There you go. That's the $60 ounce. So that's what's driving down the price. And people are like, yeah, but I pay $60 over here. That shit's been through radiation.
Yeah.
That's been I mean, there's a lot of things.
And let's
that's
be
been done.
real. A lot of times, because I've worked for a testing company, I'm not gonna put that company
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, you gotta be
But,
careful on it, but
man,
yeah,
the
you've
type
seen
of
it.
stuff that I've seen. Number one, if you go to a and it's crazy how this conversation can go on and on.
Yeah.
But if you go to a where do people pick up prescriptions from? Like a Rite Aid or something
Yeah.
like that, or it's
Or the
a
Walgreens,
Walgreens,
CVS,
right?
yeah.
CVS, Walgreens. If you go and you pick up a prescription, right? Let's say you go to a doctor and he prescribes you. Yo, when you go pick up your prescription, the label that is on that bottle is supposed to be the medicine that is in that bottle. It should never be a problem with mislabeling. Man, in the cannabis industry, what if I told you that they was mislabeling on purpose? What if I told you that they got skunk and they calling it Gorilla Glue? They got runts and they calling it Kush. They got OG and they calling it runts. And here's the thing, it's about the name. So when y'all purchasing these names, just know it's probably something that you already done smoked already, it's something that you already done had, but for profit's sake. So that's like with these machines that he was just discussing that knocks out all of the mold, and I'm hearing him explain this process. I understand the process.
Yeah.
And it's a very tedious process. It's a very expensive process. It can cost you and the person who's remediating for you, right? But all I heard from what he was just describing was, this is about profits.
So it's only one
not,
company.
not
There's
customers.
one company that's doing it.
It's
so
not
they're
about the
making
consumers
those
at that point. We're trying to save our money.
Yeah.
Like, so as a consumer, you need to be really thinking about the products that you're ingesting and putting into your respiratory system, right?
Yeah.
Because some people truly don't care. Some brands
Yeah, they
really
don't.
don't care.
They don't.
And they'll just give you whatever. So when it comes to even purchasing on the streets, you know,
You really don't know what
you really don't know.
You really
But
don't.
in some cases, if you're dealing with a good grower, you're dealing with a good brand that's up and coming, boy, they could treat you better than a
Because they
dispensary
have the
brand
passion
could.
like you do, and they care about
Yes,
it.
sir.
You would never. You could just tell by like saying, "Sorry, that you wouldn't put that product out."
Right.
Because you wouldn't feel
Nah,
right about
nah,
it.
I've
Some of these
thrown- I've thrown
companies-
weed away.
These are guys that don't. These guys
Yeah.
that own this place
Yeah,
never
yeah.
smoke.
Yeah, no.
These guys
I
have
don't have
never
a problem with
smoked
that.
that put it out there.
Yep.
How you feel about you? Somebody never smoked, never tried weed, and they're telling you that this is this, and this
I've
is that.
run
How
into
you
this
feel
several
about
times in the industry. Yeah, several times. A lot of people. Yeah.
that? You
I
know.
want to talk about weed and they haven't even smoked weed. You never even smoked, bro. You don't even smoke. You can't. But listening to you two, man, I'm gonna just throw this out there to both of you guys. If somebody could come up with a marijuana tester, whatever, a device, a small little handheld device to be like, yep, that's skunk. Yep, that's haze. Bro, you winning. You winning. And I know it can be done.
It's
It can
already-
be done.
it's already being-
Somebody's being
it's
developing that right now, and they're
So,
gonna be
so
lit.
the government is making one right now.
Mm-hmm.
They've been had this vault. So we all know about G13. G13 is a government strain. They've been collecting strains, but there's a company called Node Labs. Shout out to Node.
Node, yeah, okay.
Yeah, a lot of
Node.
people know about
Yeah.
Node. Node is building a library. They're working on
Yeah.
some things. There's a bunch of
I
companies
call them
out
arcs.
there.
I know what you're talking about. I call
It's
them
still at a
arcs.
very early
They
stage.
gathering these seeds, guys, and they
Facts.
It's another reason why they're taking these seeds.
And look, this was another reason why I started Dark Growers, is because I realized that if I can create my own genetics, right? Think about Granddaddy Purple, think about OG Kush. You know, you can't put those to a face. We know about these names, but we don't know
I don't know
about
who created
the
the strain.
honorable breeders who grew these.
I can't trace back.
Who came up with these
Can't
strains,
trace
right?
back any of them.
So, in my mind, back in 2018, right, when I first started my company, I said there has to be somebody who is going to start verifying genetics. Because there's a mislabeling issue. And here's the thing, there's a company that also will do a mouth swab, and they will let you know
Yeah.
what strains align with your DNA.
Wow.
Because we have
Big.
a CB1 receptor, a CB2 receptor, right? We have an endocannabinoid system.
Yeah, cannabinoids.
The plants have cannabinoids.
Inside of
They
it.
both are in sync with
CBD
one
part of it,
another.
yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Those terpenes, they aren't just tasteful. They aren't just smelly. They also have medicinal benefits as well. Carotene is in the pepper in your cabinet. How come that's not illegal?
Yeah, right.
How come pepper isn't illegal and it has the terpenes that's in this plant? So what happens is, right, you know, these people have managed to trick us into believing that a plant is illegal, right? It's a
It came
plant.
from the earth.
Exactly. And the earth we were born to the earth. We come from the earth so that we can utilize, the plants, the herbs, the fruits, and the vegetables of the earth. So that's a whole nother topic as
Genesis
well.
1:26, give them the land and let them have its bearing seed. It's right there. It's in the Bible where he was like, we're going to give you the land, like when God, like Garden of Eden, I'm talking about, this is the Bible stuff, y'all. I ain't make this up. You check it out, 1:26, when he's talking about the land and the bearing seed, like in the seed. That seed is very powerful, man. The seed is powerful. Y'all some powerful brothers too, man. I want to thank y'all for coming out today. Look,
Appreciate
Super
you,
Bowl
man.
weekend,
Love
we going to party again. What we
Yeah,
doing
we
tonight?
still got more.
What we doing tonight? What we doing tonight, y'all?
We doing.
Go down
That's
to
all I
Ponce
know is we
Casino,
doing.
maybe, the Ghost Bar.
Do the Ghost Bar with Ghostface?
And go by with Ghostface. See, Woo's out here, right?
Yep, we out here.
And we gotta help facilitate, get them loving with the community. And
Community is
just
receptive and well, man. We gonna
I
get
mean,
these
that
shows
show
cracking.
was, if anybody's out here and wants to check out a show, the Wu-Tang Residency show is off the chain, and I can only see it getting better. It's an experience, and these guys are gonna be out here vibing. So.
Right words, not as a show, it's an experience.
Yeah.
I
Whole
like
experience. Yo, man, thank y'all for coming through today. Lit in Vegas, man. Nevada Wellness Center, boy PXO Future Flow, and we gone.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to NWCLV.FM. It is Super Bowl weekend, and if you're out here at any time, pull up on us, 3200 South Valley View, Nevada Wellness Center, Premium Cannabis Dispensary, the only 100% black-owned dispensary in Nevada. Tell them Capion sent you. And I am DJ King Cobra. I move slick, strike quick, hit you once, and it's over. And DJ, that's digital journalist, because I don't jock nothing. You heard me? Stay tuned for more information, www.nwc